Hi, this is Tom Colgan from Stockton Today, and I am 4,000 miles away from home in a beautiful country kitchen of a historic house at a historic place. I'm here with Lynne Phillips, the owner of the Wyke Equestrian Centre.
Hello, Tom.
Well, hello, Lynne, and it's good to be here. I've been here about a week and have become familiar with the place and familiar with some of the things you do, and I'm excited about sharing them. I've enjoyed my stay so far at the Wyke. I want to tell you a little bit about it. The Wyke is actually a historic place that goes back to the 11th century and is recorded on the Domesday Book, which was the first cataloging of taxation after the Norman conquest for the farms in the area. And so the Wyke as a place goes back to the 11th century. And around this area we still have small lanes, and there are still evidences of roads that even go back further than the 11th century. And it's exciting to be around such wonderful history. This building in and of itself dates back a long ways, doesn't it, Lynne?
Well, it does, but I'm not quite sure exactly when the current building was constructed. The front part of the house is the oldest part. It's in 3 sections, and we think that's probably 200 to 300 years old. We haven't got the evidence, but this site itself was a settlement, a medieval settlement for the Anglo-Saxons, and that's what Wyke actually means. It's an Anglo-Saxon settlement, and we know that there was a settlement here.
Mm-hmm. And so this house, the present house at the Wyke, was built in the 1700s. It's the first part, yes, and it has been added on.
Yes.
Added on in the last century.
Yes,
and
that's right.
Actually, it's had 3 different editions, hasn't it?
Yes.
3 total.
Yeah.
Construction periods.
Yes, that's
The stables are very historic and beautiful also, and the outstanding thing about everything is the horses. They're just wonderful, loving animals and beautiful animals. And we have some good pictures, and we'll look forward to sharing those. But you have been in the business now how long?
38 years. My husband and I became partners. We actually got married in 1970, and we became partners in the Wyke Equestrian Centre. So I've been doing it for 38 years. So
almost 4 decades will be completed in 2 years.
Well,
40 years, 40th anniversary. So you've been doing this a long time, and the thing I'm most impressed with is this is high tech. I mean, the high technical training. You actually have students that have been with you for years and years and years who are still learning.
Well, that's right, yes. We do train people for careers with horses, and it is a long life process of learning. I still learn every day.
And you train all ages. You actually start at a pretty young age.
Yeah, 4 years old to no upper age limit.
Exactly, and there are some older people who are still training.
Yes. Like me.
Like you. And when they begin and they start out, the first while, they're actually on lead ponies, the smaller age children.
The smaller children, yes, we'll start them off on a lead rein until they've got sort of balance, confidence, and the ability to control the pony, which at a young age they haven't really got the control. They understand a lot, but it's quite difficult to take full control when you're young. And
it really is complex. If a person is watching who is not at all, has never ridden a horse or knows nothing about riding, it may seem like riding is a matter of getting on the horse and staying on. But there really is a lot to learn about balance and being able to ride in balance in concert with the horse and controlling the horse's every movement, and even controlling how the horse moves.
Yeah, it's like every good sport. Somebody who is good makes it look as if they're doing nothing.
Exactly.
But it's a totally different matter. It probably takes about 12 months to learn elementary sort of balance, but then a lifetime realising that you don't know anything.
Exactly, and that's interesting. Now, how old are your students before they actually probably reach an age where they are given control of the horse that come off the lead?
Oh, right. It's not really age, it's more experience, yes. I was just thinking of the 4-year-olds when you said, I mean, they could have balance and that we wouldn't consider it safe to give them control of their pony.
Exactly. And is there an age limit basically where you actually give them control of a pony? And a lot of that is the ability to make decisions.
I think from 7 upwards, yeah. We would consider it safe for them to have control on their own because of their thinking processes. But with adults, we would do a one-to-one lesson with them, and it's like being on a lead rope, but it's a long rope that we call a lunge rein, and they would actually work around the instructor in a circle, and the instructor would have the long rope on them. The horses are trained to it, so they're very well trained, and the rider wouldn't have full control of the horse. The instructor's there controlling with the voice and the rein aids. And then when they have learnt balance and control and the thinking processes involved in working with other riders, then they could continue their training in a group if they wanted to.
The horses are actually well trained too, and go through a lengthy process to be trained, and are constantly being trained.
Yes.
So even it's not just training riders, but you have to train the horses too when you're doing it at this skill level. That's
right. Yes, we either train them from young when they come in, slightly too halflingers, Halfling and Dante. We had them as 4, and we did 12 months. Training with natural horsemanship methods, and then riding them so that they have an understanding of what's required from them with the work, and they're happy in the work, and then we feel that they're okay to introduce to other riders. When we've got experienced horses coming in, we will do the same thing in a shorter length of time. We'll work them on the ground first, then we'll work them with the staff, assess them, and find out about each other before we actually work them with other riders.
We actually had an interesting experience this week with capturing on film out in the fields one of the larger horses, Vinny, and he was being real frisky and just absolutely having a good time and romping around and just a free spirit. And then we actually have him on video when he is actually braided up in his looking fine and actually in contest. And to see him, the discipline, and he's like a totally different person. It's much like a young child who is at one moment freely playing, and the next moment is if they're in high school or something, they're dressed in a uniform, marching and playing in a band. And it's just incredible how trained the animals are, but at the same time put them in concert with a trained rider, and it is a beautiful thing. Ironically, unless you are knowledgeable, you look and you see the beauty, but you have no idea how much goes into it and how much is really happening going on. So I'm beginning to learn those things, but it is amazing, and I have great respect for the horses here and for the training that goes on here, and for the level of expertise of the trainers and the staff and the riders at all levels. It's exciting. It's exciting to participate and to watch and view and learn this environment. This is Tom Colgan with Stockton Today, and we're beginning our coverage of the Wyke Equestrian Centre and the training that goes on here, and to explain to you. In the videos to come, we hope to show you the staff and some of the work. We will look forward to it. It has been a joy so far, and I've had a great privilege of being involved in this, and I've had an incredible amount of fun. We hope you will enjoy watching and tuning in and staying keen to what's coming on Stockton Today as it visits the Wyke, the historic Wyke, in beautiful Shropshire, England.